For the fans, by the fans. Welcome to the only Angels postgame show that keeps it real, win or lose. No filters, no fluff, just raw reactions right after the final out. The Golden Stamos is polished up and somebody's about to take it home. A clutch hit, a game-saving grab, or just straight up hustle. We see you. But if you played like trash, you're getting the dreaded Nacho Night Award. We saw the missed calls, we saw the blown saves, the clutch moments, and the disasters too. Your comments are front and center, and yeah, we read all of them. Wanna let loose? Call in and sound off live. No scripts, no suits, no spin. This is raw, this is real, this is where the fans take over. This is the HITI postgame show with Todd Fox. For the fans, by the fans.
I'm a fox. My name's Todd.
Hey, welcome into another episode of the Halos in the Infield postgame show. I'm your host, Todd Fox, on a Monday afternoon where the Angels win in Boston to even their record on the road trip to a disappointing 2-2. Why do you say that, Todd? It's a win because, I mean, I know as much as you know they should have beaten Cleveland at least 2 out of 3, and that's frustrating because they went back to some old habits. They decided to sit Mike Trout on Sunday when he's been out 30 days. He gets hot. He's like 7 of 12 or something, or 5 of 9 at that point, and they sit him. And look what he does today. I mean, again, good at bats all around. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about what they had to do to win in Fenway, because again, 6 runs in the first inning. You can't just sit there and say, okay, game over. You have to have some add-on runs. We're lucky Joe Adell hit his second home run, because otherwise we'd be looking at extra innings right now, or maybe a Boston walk-off as they like to do against us. That's been a house of horrors, much like Houston. We have a really, really tough time winning in Boston. Those chowder heads, they have our number. But the Angels win a real funky game tonight as they had to outslug their opponent literally 7-6. The Boston Red Sox fall to 29-33 while the Angels improve to 27-32. What I'd like for the Angels to do is to at least get 2 out of 3 in this series, do a Rally Chris special, and come home and play the division rough. You got an important series with Seattle as soon as you come home on Friday. And then you have Oakland. You can't take them lightly. They're probably pissed off you swept them up in Sacramento. So you kind of want to return the favor. They want to return the favor, so you want to not let that happen. So with that being said, real weird game tonight, as you had a starter, Fitz, who had Fitz on the mound. We gave him Fitz. He's a guy who really hasn't had much success behind him for whatever reason. Had a lower ERA before he came into this game. You had a pitcher like Tyler Anderson, who's been pitching all-star like he did last year. Sub 300 3 ERA, was pitching pretty good. So you figured there's a chance this one could be a low-scoring game, although the dimensions in Fenway are super-duper funky. So anything could happen, and it kind of did today. So we'll get into that as the scoring plays went like this. In the first inning, Neto did it again. It's about, I think it's 4th or 5th leadoff home run this year already. That made it 1-0 in the first inning. Then the Angels weren't done. Shonowell got on base because of a walk. Soler got a single. And then, he scored on an error that went to Ward, because Ward should have hit into a double play. That would make it 2-0. And you had 2 men on, nobody out. Mike Trout up. Bam, home run like that. 5-0. Actually, it was Soler, my bad. 5-0 right there, Angels. And you're thinking, okay, good job. We got this. And then Adell adds on a freaking extra run. Now, even my dad at the time was like, Todd, I don't like that they're not scoring after that first inning. I think you're going to need a few more runs to win this game. He was calling it. I mean, you just can't sit on a lead. I've seen an 8-0 lead by the Angels back in the day blown there. I've seen many 8-4 games after the 7th inning blown there. Just whatever it is, Boston has that magic against us there in Anaheim. I think, or in Boston, I'm sorry. And only the times I've ever seen the Angels actually dominate them in Fenway was what the Vlad Guerrero days, when they played him in the postseason. They made no ifs, ands, or buts. That series was over, and they torched him in that series. But with that being said, I got to get something out of the way. Halos in the Infield post-game show is brought to you in part by the fans, for the fans, for the fans, by the fans. We sit in the stands with you. We talk baseball with you on and off. Our live episodes are on our podcast. Check out the podcast I did with James, the Around the League show the other day. Very good. We got another one coming up tomorrow with Dominic. He's talking about everything going on in the farm system. So you want to check out the YouTube page, hit the like button and the subscribe button and the bell button, whatever, all the buttons, just hit them all for us. Yeah, it really helps us out on the algorithms. And share it too. I mean, if you know Angel fans, share it. That's the best way we can get out there. We're not born with a silver spoon. This is all organic on this network. We don't pay for followers, and we didn't just get handed some followers with mediocre content. We have good content with fans that just rise from the stands like us. So with that being said, that was 6-0 Angels cruise control, right? Nope. Here's the problem I had with Anderson. This is the second or third time this season where Anderson has just been like nibbling. He's gone back to 2023 Anderson, where he's just nibbling around the plate instead of trusting his stuff. His changeup was really good. It had a lot of east to west movement. It had a lot of downward movement, but he wasn't getting the calls, number one. And number two, he was missing a little bit on the low changeups that were extending at bats for players to make it 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 balls. And it was like, man, he was working up the pitches. So I already knew at max he would give us 5 innings. So he allowed a run by Devers after back-to-back doubles to make it 6-1. Duran was an asshole tonight with his little all the time. So it was like, man, the guy's on fire. And so he made it 6-1. And then Ref Schneider came in there, who's been on a hot streak for them, knocked him in. It was 6-2 in the 5th inning. And then after, Duran had doubled again off the Green Monster. Ref Schneider got him in. Navarez would drive in a run. And then Gonzalez would just poke it down the line off of Strickland after, Anderson was already up and over 90 pitches at that point. Ron Washington saw enough. He brought in Strickland. Strickland gave up the hit to make it 6-5. All 5 runs were charged to Anderson. Strickland then got, a couple pop outs to end the inning. And then we went into the 6th inning. Adele promptly homered right away, which was huge to make it 7-5. And then the bullpen kind of took over. I thought Detmers pitched in and out of a jam. That was brought on by the umpire's terrible calls, not calling strikeouts by guys going around or even pitches in the plate. Then after it was 7-5, they threw out Detmers. They go, I think it was him or Enright. FanDuel couldn't even get it right, so I don't even know who got thrown out. They would get a run off of Neris. Now, Neris, I'm not a fan of. Some people, including my dad, says, boy, I like that Neris. He's got good stuff. He's got good stuff to get you 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's got good stuff to get you 0 balls and 2 strikes, 0 balls, 0 and 2. My problem with Neris is he doesn't know how to finish you off. He really doesn't. He doesn't have that strikeout pitch. He's got dominant stuff to set you up, but then he gets in that frame of mind of, like, I got to burn a fastball by you up and in. And you saw in the home run, and they even mentioned on FanDuel, like, Ohapi's setting up down, and that pitch is up and in the zone. It's like, bam, you're just asking to get hit. And that's not the first time Neris has made a mistake up in the zone when he's been ahead of a hitter. So I actually like his stuff more when he's behind in the count. He pitched really good right after that to get a key out, the last 2 outs. So I thought Neris did a good job on the back end. But when he gets ahead of guys, it kind of like biting my fingernails. Like, dude, I really want you to trust your stuff out of the zone, not in the zone. Don't try to burn it by him. These hitters are really good, and they will hit the exit velocity big time. So he got burned on that one, but luckily, Zephyr John did a nice job the inning prior to that. Neris was able to get through the 8th inning, and then Jensen made it easy until that last fly ball that kind of carried a lot in Fenway. But luckily right there, our man Soler with a big catch to end the game. Totals on the game, pitching-wise for the Angels, again, a rough start for Anderson. That's because he threw too many pitches, was farting around in the zone too much, or nibbling, I'm sorry. 5 runs, 7 hits, and 4 in the 3rd innings pitched, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Strickland gets the win in relief. He pitches 2/3 of an inning, allows a hit. Detmers pitches an inning and 2 hits and a walk, so he had the bases loaded. Zephyr John looked dominant 15 pitches thrown, 2 strikeouts in an inning, no runs, no hits. Neris, again, when I mentioned the home run and the strikeout, and then Jansen with the clean inning with just a strikeout. As far as hitting's concerned, Neto 1 for 5. You'd like to see him have a little bit better at bats. He should have walked in one of the innings. Instead, he went 1 for 5. He didn't. He only had the 1 strikeout. Again, Shawnewill gave you a nice night tonight. 2 walks again. He's continuing to get on base by any means. I like his approaches to the plate. The guys were talking about it on the telecast that he's working the counts. So even when he's getting out, he's grounding out, or he's flying out, it's a productive at bat because he's able to show the bench and the guys on deck what the pitcher's got, because he's seeing about 6 to 8 pitches per at bat. Taylor Ward wasn't too bad. He had 2 strikeouts. I don't like that, but he did work the counts a couple times pretty high. So I'll give him a C for effort tonight, not an A for effort. I still want to see that average go up. I thought Soler had a good night too, including although he had the 1 strikeout, he did have the RBI. He had the run scored. Mike Trout again, a second straight 3-hit game in a row right there, raising the average to 225. I want to see that thing keep on hiking up, baby. We get Trout to a 270, 280. I'm really good with that. But right now, what I'm thinking is if he can continue to hit like this and just, square it up when he has to, because I wasn't on here Sunday or Saturday, but I was impressed with the fact that when he hit on Friday and Saturday that he was squaring up the bat head very even with the ball. There was no uppercut swing on any of those swings. And I felt that he waited for the 3-1 count to then take that uppercut swing, as you should, because you're going to get a ball to drive in that situation. And he's more of a wily vet to know that than anybody out there, that, hey, man, if the guy is going to pitch anything in the zone, it's going to be down the middle because it's a get-me-over fastball or a get-me-over change or a curveball. Whatever it is, it's a get-me-over. It's going to come down the middle at some point, and you got the barrel in the right spot, you're going to crush it. So right now, it looks like he's locked in. I like how he's not looking for that uppercut swing early in the count, and he guessed right on that fastball, took it over the wall, and lo and behold, there's a home run for him as he had 2 more RBIs tonight. Then you had Logan O'Hoppe, disappointing, but didn't strike out. At least he didn't strike out. He's 0 for 4. His average is dipped to 250. He was at 280. Joe Adell, 2 crushing home runs in this one, including the game winner. Very happy with that tonight. Louis Renifo hit the ball hard a couple times, just right at people, but he still got a hit. So I do like his at-bats. Kingery gave you nothing defensively and nothing offensively. The throw he threw to Neto that should have been safe. I think the throw he threw to first too was terrible. So he was overall bad. Then Newman just came into Newman. Angels left 4 men on base, 1 for 4. And again, that's not good. You scored 6 runs and did all your damage basically in the first inning. And again, FanDuel was like, hey, they got a lot of home runs tonight. That's fine and dandy and all, but you got to generate runs other ways. If they were to generate runs in other ways, this game could have been 11-6. And you wouldn't have had to flirt with your closer in a high pressure situation. So I do give the Angels credit for getting the win and holding on 7-6, but they've got to work on that. But that just goes to show you again, the anomaly was on Saturday when they couldn't, when they scored 5 and didn't win the game. You're going to have games where the bullpen doesn't come through, but it came through tonight and the offense scored enough runs. And that right there is the league average is what Boston got is between 5.6, I want to say, or 5.5 and 6 runs a game. Angels are, again, if you just give us 4 and we've got a record of goddamn now it's 24-8 and you've got a record outside of not scoring 4 runs or 5 runs, I'm sorry. If it's 4 runs or under, the Angels are a robust 3, and I want to say 24 or 5 now. I mean, that's Colorado Rockies-esque. I mean, that's terrible. That just goes to show you, yeah, as good as they've gotten, contributions from this bullpen, from the starting rotation, you're going to have to score some runs. And you got to feel that if they can get to a 4 to 5 run plateau or an average, you're going to feel pretty good every night. It's when you're losing 2-0 and it looks like it's 10-0 is when you start feeling like shit as a fan, because you're like, dude, I don't have any faith in this team. So hopefully they can get rolling with some runs here in Boston. Chris says, should we worry about that we're doing with our starting pitching prospects being brought up to fill a bullpen? Yes, we should be worried, Chris, because when you have this many guys, which they don't have like other teams, I should say, the amount of pitchers they could just bring up to outshine the pitchers on the staff right now, they have a bunch of unproven guys. And Algieri, the Italian, bringing him up, he's supposed to be a starter. Caden Dana, we did the same thing. He's supposed to be a starter. We bring him up for a day, send him right back down. There's no spot start for Algieri, and I just can't wait. And I'm hoping, we had Stevenson up here, and he goes right to the IL. You need a guy in there to stay in the bullpen. Hopefully he's healthy after the 15-day IL. And I'm still waiting to hear if anything about Sam Bachman. You get him up here. At some point, Cajeda would rejoin the squad. I mean, those are 3 good bullpen arms to add with the other guys to where you shouldn't have to go and grab a starter. You should be relying on those relievers and the ones you sent down for the veterans instead of having to rely on rookie pitchers where you're taking them out of their comfort zone. They're freaking starting in the minors and doing good, and you're like, nah, come up here and help in the bullpen. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm hoping that changes here soon with these veterans making it up here to the big league crew. So when we win, we play Stukas. So enjoy, baby. We got a dub. There you go. Stuka's right there. And let's get into the award, shall we? The Golden Stamos for best player on the field goes to... The Golden Stamos has to go to Joe Adell. Again, this is a guy that everyone roots for, at least most Angel fans do. They want to see this guy succeed. He's still young. He's batting .215. Last year, he averaged, I think he ended the season at 200 or, right at the Mendoza line. For him to be successful, he's got to not always think home run. He's got to get some doubles. He's got to get some singles, and by far he needs to walk. And I think what's hurt him this year is I think he's gone more power, not because just the Angels are telling him to go power, because the analytics department sucks ass with a StatCast and all that BS that they blow up the Angels' asses. But I think the reason why Adell is not doing much better is he's dealt with that thigh injury. Some games you could see it, some games you don't see it, and you're like, why is he, not running as much? And then there's some games where you see him limping a bit, and you're like, damn, does he have to go to the IL? But it's just been a lingering injury he's had all season, and he hasn't taken off on the bases, which has been frustrating because he does have that speed that Paris does too when he really wants to. He can steal some bases. So we're missing that part of his game. I think the speed's not there, and I don't think he's locking in too much on the hits. And I think that injury's making him think, hey, man, I can't beat out these grounders, or I can't beat out a grounder down the line or something like that. Like, I've got to freaking start swinging for the fences. So I think if he just flattens out his swing a little bit more like what Trout's doing, I think Adell can be much, much better. So that's the Golden Stamos goes to him. Now let's see who gets the Nacho Night. Nacho Night, oh yeah, Nacho Night. Pile it up, load it high. Extra shame, all the pride. Grab a fork, take a dive. Diggity's gone, but she survived. Award. Wow, that monkey coming out of that toilet with nachos is disgusting. Dude, Fitz, man. Damn, yeah. Richard Fitz. Yeah, he didn't fit what the Red Sox needed tonight, dude. And only innings pitched, 1 inning. 39 pitches thrown in that inning. Anytime you're throwing 35 to 40 pitches in 1 inning, that's not good. He allowed 4 hits, 6 runs total, 5 of them earned, 1 walk, and 3 home runs. Not a good way to start the game. And, you know, Red Sox fans on their post game are probably saying, yeah, we lost this game in the first inning. That's it, because Dobbins did a good job after that. He only allowed the 1 run in 5 innings after that, and then Birdie and Guerrero just put up zeros. So, yeah, this game could have really turned ugly for the Angels had they not got that second Joe Adell run. So that being said, I think there's only one other thing to get into, and that is your comments, as we're going to be very interactive on this show, as we always are. And, yeah, we start out with Halo Luke saying, welcome back, Todd. Thank you very much. Jason Hess says, Stukas, we played that. And Jason Hess also says, you know what? I can use a drink right now. Not only a drink, I can use a botanical spritz.
Spritz o'clock, Angels play. Win or lose, we toast today. Sip and cheer, no matter score. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more.
Well, the Angels got the win, Spritz o'clock, and it's really good that they did, because I did not want to see a loss in Boston. We already got a couple, you know, rough games to go with them, because no game is easy or safe in Fenway, and tomorrow's is going to be no different. It's another 4 o'clock start, and it's going to be Ryan Bello, who pitched pretty good against us last season, against Kikuchi, coming off one of his best starts, getting his first win. He's 1-5 with a 3.6 ERA, 63 hits in 64 innings pitched, 58 strikeouts. But, dude, the walks have been high for Kikuchi. That has hurt him lately, 35 of them. That is not good. Bello is 2-1 with a 3.83 ERA. You cannot afford to walks. That's what I'm saying. He's got to keep that pitch low in the strike zone. Bello can be hit, though. He's allowed 43 43 hits in 40 innings pitched. So that one's going to be a toss-up tomorrow. Game 3 is going to be the real tough one, as we'll look ahead to that one a little later. Getting back to the comments right here, Dan Rio says, man, me love you long time, Roger Live.
There's a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight, which makes me so horny, and me love you long time.
Also, you have Jason Hess saying, revive in 25. Also, Mo Cesat says Stevenson moved to the 15-day IL. Then it's going to be the 60-day IL. Then he's out for the season. Can't trust anything this team says. They did say he was supposed to come back in 10 days. Boy, did that change. Also, you got Rally Chris here saying the game would have this game we would have lost last year with other teams as well. Barry Enright was a guy that got tossed. Well, that's at least one of our coaches mans up. Also, let's see, Stuka's right there, and Andrew enjoying that as far as the Stukas tonight. Jason Hess says, if I hear one Trout so back, I'm going to be pissed. It's one game, people. Gilbert Pyle. Let's see, Mike Trout is so back. Mario says, hey. So he was ready for that one. Tyler says, wow, winning. Yeah, I mean, this was a game again that if you're getting really, your butt cheeks are getting tight around the 5th inning. You're like, dude, there's a lot of baseball left to be played, and they're only down 1 run.
Wow, winning.
There you go. I don't know, he always skips it the first time. Raleigh Chris says, Jason, it's not just me. 8 of 13 being off the IL as a third hole hitter. And yeah, him not being in a third hole is pretty good. I like that. We'll see what happens, but I got to see more of him doing this. Dan says, hey, off the monster. Hey, off the monster, was heading over the monster into Lendale Street. Hey, Jason Hess says, keep this going and I'll hop back on the Trout parade. Yeah, I mean, again, Trout's got to earn your respect, my respect. He's got to stay healthy. He's got to do the things like keep the bat barrel flat. He's got to square it up. He's got to stop the uppercut swing. And I think the same thing is happening with our boy Ohapi. Ohapi should be tearing it up. His average should be better. He should be knocking in more runs like Rafael Devers, because Devers is at 52. I think our boy Ohapi's at 36 or 38, but you can do so much better if you're squaring up the bat with the ball instead of jumping out your shoes. Ohapi's like jumping up the swing. It's like that's what Trout was doing before his injury. So at least for right now, the Angels coaches haven't fucked up his swing, and he's really playing like the Mike Trout from like 5 years ago. And you know what? If it's just 3 games, give me some more of it. Give me some more. And then hopefully other guys can see, okay, and interviews are always, bragging about how Trout's a leader. Well, if he's a leader by example, let's follow his lead, players. Let's follow what Trout's doing, and hopefully the rest of these guys can flatten out their swings, get their batting averages up, and be more dynamic. I'm telling you, this team has the potential to be dynamic and to score 5 to 6 runs a game. And it doesn't all have to be by the long ball. We can have doubles to the gap. We can have sacrifice flies. We can have first to thirds. We can have triples. This team's got what it takes to get it done, but we have a stupid ass approach. So the games that we actually go at it, it seems like either they throw all that shit out the window and they're like, hey, let's let these guys hit. Let's let these guys play to their strengths. It looks like they play a lot better. Or maybe Johnny Washington's like, hey, man, I'm tired of coaching these guys. Let somebody else do it. If somebody else is doing it on those games, Johnny doesn't want to do it, give them the job. We all know what Johnny can give you, which is shit. So I do like what they're doing right now. And whatever it is, just freaking keep it going, because the innings are more exciting. They're in most of these innings as far as like their bats. They're challenging the pitchers. They're not getting blown away on the same stupid pitch over and over like we saw in other series versus inferior teams where they were just living on the corner and the Angels were like, I can get it. I can get it. And it was the same pitch over and over and they kept swinging at it. So at some point you got to just tighten up the bat, choke up a bit, make the pitcher throw back towards the inner half of the plate. And because if you let those pitchers, they're good enough to hit that corner all damn day. So at some point, you're going to have to make them pay for using that corner. And then some point, you're going to have to remember, hey, I got to discipline myself. I can't be swinging at everything. And once you get them thinking like, hey, man, and you're in their head and you're like, man, they're not going after those outside pitches like what happened today. Eventually, those pitchers are going to have to say, okay, I've got to hit the corner at least. I got to get back in the strike zone. And then that's where you make them pay. And then once you make them pay there, they're going to be like, well, I got to try to throw that pitch somewhere else. I got to try to throw it up and in. I got to try to throw it up and inside. And then that's where the mistakes happen, where they plan on throwing something on the inside, and that shit curves right over the middle, and boom, there you go. Then that's when you attack them. I think that's what this team needs. It needs stronger coaching with less information. Just throw them the basics. And these guys are smart enough to soak it up and make it work. I just think we overload these guys with too much goddamn information. Like, hey, that pitcher right there, he throws 89 miles per hour in the sun when it's 75 degrees with a slight breeze out of the southeast. And he throws a curveball more effective out of the west north of something. If the dew point on the ground temperature, if there's fog in the air, it's stupid. Like, there's no need for that shit. I mean, again, like tonight, basic baseball. Anderson, his splits are different. He's not a traditional lefty where he dominates other left-handed hitters. Usually, for whatever reason, left-handed hitters hit him really hard. So guess what? The Red Sox put quite a few lefties in the lineup. And guess what? Those were the guys that did most of the damage. So, I mean, sometimes it goes against conventional wisdom, but that's where, you take it. What is it called? One person, case by case. You don't just throw a stat out there and be like, well, this guy's got this guy's got that, blah, blah, blah. That's bullshit. Bullshit. Alex says, how do you feel about Ron Washington managing the Angels? I think he's on cruise control. He should have argued like 10 times in this game and didn't do it. I was very disappointed with that. Saucy says, I think there's what is really needed more in games are ads. Kia and Jack in the Box aren't getting it done anymore. You don't want to take a ride with Honda, Saucy? Also, Mike Trout says, we're so back. Hey, Todd, you see my home run? Also, Jim says they tried real hard to lose it for us. They sure did. Relic Chris says, hot take, Todd. Angels are getting back to 500 and go over 500 this month. You could take that to the bank and deposit it since it's my birthday. Boy, you better make sure the funds are there. Also, Mario says, are the umpires just getting worse across the league? Q Lombardi. I think at some point they are really fading themselves out. The machines will be here before you know it. Terminator 2 style.
What the hell's going on out here?
No, either. Skull Zone said, you like Pride Month? No comment. Also, Mateo says, I'm a bet with Todd. If we get back to 500, he shaves his beard. Okay, then what do you give up, my man? Jason Hess says, who do I have to crown next to my name? Or who do I have to crown to get it next to my name? I think you just had to comment a gang of times. Dan Rio says, yes, Mario, if we had lost that game, it was going to be the umpire's fault. Chubb says, Angels did what to the Red Sox, though this was a family show. Yes, they did. They did do what usually happens to us. We get bent over. Albert says, no, Peachy's mama's way. We won. Skull Zone says, can you talk? No, I'm not going to do that. See, you're just trolling now. Jim says, shaves the beard, mow the carpet. No, I can't show that one. Also, Jason, do you think Jason also says, be cool, man. We had a dog named Fox. EQ says, let's fucking go, Todd. There you go. Also, Mateo says, we have Fitz the entire first inning. Angels Suck says, we won. Let's fucking go. Angels win. Jansen is ice cold. He was really, really good tonight. And by the way, right off the bat, I got one other thing to play, and that is this. What is Max Market Pros? Well, Max Market Pros is the premier place to go for if you need help with your small business or social media account. They can help build you a website for a good price. They can also take care of you. They are Google certified to get you to the top of the search engine. So whenever someone says, hey, I need a lawnmower man. Well, guess what? If you're in Anaheim or anywhere around and they're looking for a lawnmower man, boom, your name pops up to the top and you get instant business. That's how you get reviews. That's how you continue to keep your business growing. You get a little help from your friend at Max Market Pros. Go to their website or email them at maxmarketpros.com. You can get a consultation. It's free to check them out. They will help you out. And if you just mentioned HITI, they may help you out with some social media too, because that's what they do as well. If your social media isn't growing, if you're trying to sell something on Etsy, bam, they can take care of it for you. Just hit my man up over there. They will take care of you. They have a bunch of good people over there, Joe in particular, but they have a whole team that will take care of you. You just mentioned HITI, and they will take care of you. So there you go. Over here to Jesus, it says, light that baby up, Todd Fox. Let's go, Angels. Yes, sir. Andrew says, hey, those home runs. Hey, launch angles, velos. I can't get enough of them. Mateo says, Angels did something tonight that no team has done in the entire time at Fenway. 3 home runs in the first inning. That's kind of crazy. Johnny B. Good says, after that mental blunder with who was supposed to hit yesterday, that right there proves there's no leadership at all. I agree. Todd Fox, do you have any OnlyFans? No Skull Zone. Actually, you saw me in a thong the other day. EQ says, listening to this at work. Hopefully everything goes good for you over there, EQ. He's happy the Angels won. Halos Forever says Neto's 5th, 2 more, and he's tying Brian Downing for leadoff home runs. That's awesome right there. Robert says, fuck, Washington. Kudos to Barry Enright for standing up for his guys. I think he's gotten tired of that for sure. Tamir 20 says, fucking Anderson almost blew it away. He almost did. EQ says, what are we drinking tonight, Todd? I'm on the water diet right now. So I'm kind of not drinking alcohol right now at this moment. Demetrio says, always feels good winning in Fenway. Fucking hate Fenway and the Red Sox and their cheesy fans, Ben Affleck's ass ninjas. Also, I can't stand that Sweet Caroline song because of them. EQ says, what do you think about Stevenson going on the IL? Will it turn into 30? I hope not. I hope not, because you've seen a little taste of what he could bring to the table. Robert says, wait, I'm not getting paid for this. Also, EQ says, crazy at bats. We went over the green wall twice. Mateo also says, Todd, if we didn't have Wayne, well, who do you think would be the main play-by-play guy, Matty V or Patty O? I don't think we can afford Matty V on an entire season, but I do think we would get stuck with Patty O. Patty O sucks. Matty V is really good. I like his back and forth with Gooby. I think it's really good. And I always think of the show when he's talking, because he sounds just, well, obviously he's on the video game, but he does a lot of the things, because I never really paid attention to Matty V until I started playing the show. And then when I heard him on the show, I'm like, oh, this dude's pretty good. And then I would hear him on the national games. And now that he's with the Angels for the last couple seasons, when he does games, I really enjoy when he does games. I really like it. Also, umpires almost blew it, and we still don't know who got thrown out. Who got thrown out? They're saying so far that it was Barry Enright. Mateo says, isn't Anderson on a 1-year contract on last year? Yes, he is. And also, yes, for every run scored, we have to play a Deo. They had 7, so light that baby up with some Deos. Deo! 1. Deo! 2. Deo! 3. Deo! 4. Deo! 5. 6, 7. So you got 7 Deos, baby. I'll take that any day of the week, man. Any Deo of the week. Gerard says, always a good day when the Halos beat the massholes. Fuck Boston. EQ says, the umpires suck today, man. I feel for Reed Detmers. Iron Giant says, Trout has been 7 for 13 since coming back. That's a solid let's give it a solid 15 to 20 games before we act like Roger Lodge and Gavin Carlson. Oh, yeah. And by the way, let's check in on what he's doing right now.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Gavin Carlson, former credentialed journalist in the LA area. How about a yummy tasting nut? If you don't know who I am, what's going on, everybody? My name is Gavin Carlson, former credentialed journalist in the LA area. Spent not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 years covering UCLA sports, specifically with the Daily Bruin, writing articles, conducting interviews, all that good stuff. Crack into a good source of protein with, how about a yummy tasting nut? I love the nut. Yummy. Had me fired up.
Oh, sorry. Guy's voice puts me to sleep. Fucking boring. Gerard says, not going to lie, I thought we were going to choke that game. I did too. EQ says, I can't believe we won without with Trout hitting a home run. That's strange, right? Strange. Speaking of strange, he says Washington told the umpire Q Lombardi. Yeah, he told the umpire something.
What the hell's going on out here?
That's about it. Also, Tamir 20 says those first base ump was trying to help the Red Sox. Also, Mateo said it's nice having Matty V back in the booth. Both corner umpires sucked. Stevie Wonder impersonation. David Roscoe says the Angels will win tomorrow. Mario says Naris should watch porn to learn how to finish guys off. Hey-oh! That's pretty disgusting. Maybe
let me tell you something about my guy John Stamos. So I was able to go in the back bedroom and unscrew the old
these nuts. Got him. Got him.
Dan Rio says Det's lone walk was a strikeout. Umpire's blind. Strange says next game put Trout batting 4th. Trout has become to the boogeyman since coming back. Keep him where he's at. Keep him 5th. Tamir 20 says Nolan is the most patient hitter on the team. I love his approaches. Matty Matt says good win against the damn Red Sox. Rally Chris says Trout is back since he's not in the lineup batting 3rd. He's down in the lineup at perfect spot for him. Woo says I'm edging so hard right now to edge from WWE is about to spritz. Whoa. Also, Salmon always used to bat 5th. Maybe that's time for Trout to stay 5th. It's a good spot for a fish. Angel's grandma says Joe Adele gets the winning RBI. He also got the Stamos for best player on the field. Jason says Ward still can't drive for a ball. Yeah, he can't dive for a ball. He's terrible out there. And again, I thought he may have had a play on that wall where it was a line drive that hit on the bottom of the wall, and he just sort of just was like, nah, play it off the carom. Stamos does go to Adele. Also, Tyler says, Todd, I'm officially back in California. We're so back, baby. That's cool, man. Where are you at now here in California? You can come to some games. We can finally meet up and we can vibe a little bit myopically. James says balls, and Mike Nelson Trout. So we have to play this one. Balls, because he loves him some balls.
Time for you to check out what I want. I want
balls and John Stamos.
Mike Nelson Trout. Rally Chris says, let's check in. Oh, we already checked in on him. We already fell asleep. Balls, and Nares can't finish guys off. Tony C says, hey, Todd, keep up the good work. I was happy to see an injection on Enright. Can we trade Anderson already? The Angels probably can get 2 prospects for him. What do you think? He's got to have more pitching performances like he did the first 5 or 6 starts, and I think he can up his value, but they can't be looking for the house. They were looking for the house last year at the deadline, and nobody was going to pay that king's ransom for a veteran like Anderson, so they passed on him when the Angels could have got some players last year. Let's hope they don't do that this year. By the way, Tony C texted me earlier, and I'm glad to talk with him. He's a good fan of the show, and he says please pray for his friend who has ALS on this Lou Gehrig Monday, as we remember one of the greatest players of all time who was robbed early of his career. He had a lot more to give to the game of baseball and to life. A lot of people have lost their lives because of this debilitating, painful disease. It really, really gets to a person. You can't explain it almost. And there's so much, for everything that has been poured into cancer, rightfully so over the years. ALS is one of these that is super debilitating to whoever gets it. And unfortunately, it has taken many Americans and many people from around the world in all countries. So we pray for all those that have it. And, just I'm giving a shout out to Tony C's friend who's currently going through this debilitating disease right now. And hopefully someday, hopefully in our lifetime, we can get a handle on this one as well. As they've gone leaps and bounds to help out cancer patients, and we have better chances of that. So hopefully, hopefully that gets into that realm as well, where we can start to get a handle on something that is just screwed with so many people. Back to the comments. Angels win. That means you get your free McDonald's, but you have to make a $2 purchase, Rally Chris. So you might as well just get a combo. Joshua says, Stukas, we played that earlier. Also, sad Bo Sox fans going home to watch Manchester by the Sea. Angels need to win tomorrow. Angels suck says, do we know who got thrown out? Because it's past my head right now. Yeah, I think it was in right now. I think we can confirm that. LV says, we're so back. Mario says, also cool to see a bunch of Halo fans sitting in the green monster. Run me up them 7 honks right now. Okay, we're going to lather that sucker out. Everyone, don't stand too close to the computer because LV is going to be hitting them honks. I think that was 7. We'll just say that was 7. Might have been 8. I don't know. He might have gotten an extra honk out there. Also, Untold Netflix will make a documentary about Montreal Expos. I'd love to see that. We won. Wow, winning. Yeah, wow, winning indeed. It's not a game we expected to win.
Wow, winning.
Thank you, Charlie. Also, LV says, Angels winning a series. You can take that to the bank and deposit it. Demetro says, Artie Moreno looks like one of my uncles who's a straight paisa. Eric says, glad we won, but I refuse to honk my honk until we win or at least 5 games over 500. Also, our Copulus says, Trout is so back, baby. Also, Iron Giant says, serious question. What the hell is happening to Artie at the end of the Spritzer clock? Looks like he's getting a painful BJ. Either something like that or from the backside. Because, yeah, he looks drunk and very old. Angel Suck says, Matty V, don't bother me tonight. He was singing Skilo and hating on Boston's Sweet Caroline. Q Bally's. Yeah, he was actually pretty good tonight. He's like, that song always costs me or makes me feel a certain way against Boston. Yep. You got to love it. I think he does sound a little bit better out there with Gooby. Silent E says, it would be nice if this team was firing on all cylinders in both pitching and hitting. I'm glad the bats came through, though, but this should have been a blowout. It should have been. Saucy says, I would be lying if I said it doesn't feel like the Red Sox are going to punish this team the next couple of days. He thinks it could happen. Well, Torrey said he did say he is going to stay close to Ron 5 to 10 days per month. So maybe Torrey is teaching them to get hits. Hot take by him. Angels are challenging the pitchers with flair. Our Angels approach is sometimes quite rare. They swing and they miss. It's a funny sight. Maybe some new coaches would set things right. Thank you, Useless Trucker. Just let the players play. 007 says Angels play better on the road. Absolutely. It's disappointing. Also, Jim says no rainbow shirts at work for Mateo. Silent He says the offense wasn't dead after 5 runs. Won a first, but didn't get anything done until the 6th inning to add on. Like I would like to see more. After a huge inning in the 1st inning to only score 1, should have been at least 10-6. Wilbur says, thanks for the extra shirt, Todd. You're very welcome. Thanks for the wait. Saucy says, my honk is still flaccid. Also, Demetrius says, Rangers only team without a Pride Day respect. Dave C says, Angels got lucky. Also, Mateo says, if we don't get to 500, I'll put on a crazy wig. You got to up it a little bit more than that, Mateo. Also, Dave C says, Mike Trout for a decade and haven't won a ring. Boy, tell us, Angel fans, something we don't know. I mean, obviously, yes. J-Lock says, is this show fun? It is. I love this show. Riley Chris says, Jansen gets the save against the former team Red Sox in Boston. J-Lock says, just tell B it's better. Just tell me it's better than Locked On Angels, I guess. J-Lock. Yeah, it is. Also, Wilbur says, fuck yeah, the show's great, man. Also, Wilbert says we have way too much fun here, especially when we lose. Also, Mateo says, if we had Nevin, how many times would we have been like this year or have seen this year? Well, Nevin, it's kind of hard. I don't know. This game itself, Mateo, with Nevin at the helm, he didn't chase wins, as we know. He was very straightforward. I did like how he stuck up for the players, but he didn't know what he was doing. He was lost out there. You did have way more people in his ear, so I felt bad for him in a way. J-Lock says, I'm new here. Todd, introduce yourself. Well, what do you want to know? Ask me a question, and I will answer it. I'm not going to give you the whole spiel. You were supposed to say spritz, Todd. Also, J-Dog says, so glad I didn't have to listen to Patty O's annoying voice. Oh, man. Yeah, every time Friday rolls around, I'm like, please have Matty V. You know, I can't stand, Patty O. Strange says the 5th inning, though, had me thinking, fuck around and get hoodwinked. Yeah, dude. I mean, this game, literally, it could have turned real fast. EQ says, where's Wayne Randazzo? Good question. I really haven't looked into that. At least Matty V isn't calling games from a trailer. That's true. Like our radio guys. Blood says they really tried to blow this game, but they prevailed on the hairs by the hairs of their chinny chin chin. J-Lock also says Wayne is Matty V and Matty V is Wayne. Also, he doesn't see the difference. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, it's not bad at all. I mean, Wayne does give a certain, feel to the game, and they do kind of sound alike at certain takes. But I think Matty V has more flair. He has more more charisma, and he definitely has more puns and things like that. And I do think he just gets along slightly better with Gooby, where I think Wayne and Gooby are more manufactured. I think you can literally have, like, he's been away for a long time, Matty V, and then you just bring him in the booth for a 3-game series, and it's like Matty V's been calling the games all year with Gooby. I don't know. I maybe I'm different. Maybe I don't see it, or I see things different, but I just see so much more chemistry with those two. He says, J-Lock, this show is more fun than Locked On, especially if you're a frustrated fan like most of us are on here. I'd have to attest to that too, because we've just been frustrated. We've had to break down the games. We've had to do a lot of things that most of the other guys don't really do. And so, I mean, the only ones I think that dive deep into stuff like us or deeper is Talking Halos. I love those dudes. But our podcasts are similar. I mean, we love this team, and we're not afraid to call a spade. So we're not going to sugarcoat a turd, and so we'll call them out, and we're also honk it up when they do good. I mean, just see the amount of honks we've done on here when they actually do things, when they actually play good. So with that being said, let's get back here. Eric says, by the way, why is Nut Boy a former credentialed journalist? Any theories? I don't know. I mean, maybe there was something that he did on campus that got him excused because, you know, you get those credentials, they're supposed to last for a good while. Let's see. Archangel says, I used to date a girl who was so short, I was nuts over her. Oh, let's see where this goes. This win has me on fire, and to celebrate, let's bring on balls in my mouth and baby oil.
Time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and
John Stamos.
Baby oil. Boy, Archangel is all up in that Diddy, you know, trial right now. Someone tell Gavin that Otani still has a yummy tasting nut. He's fired up too. Mudwater says, this is what happens when I miss a game. So excited to say Trout is so back. Also, Mateo says, when do you think Trout will be back in right field? There is discussion from what I heard that they're going to try to talk about maybe having him back in the outfield sometime in the Seattle series, at least for one game, and then possibly two with Sacramento. But I just wouldn't push it, man. I know they're trying to free up that DH position so that they could, like tomorrow, there's a very good chance you're either going to sit Ohapi, but you could sit Soler, but then it's like you got Trout in the outfield. You just called up I want to keep calling him Lopez, but you just called up the kid. He might go back out there in the outfield. So you're taking out one good hitter because Darno has to play. Because what I've heard is when it's Hendricks and when it's Kikuchi, it's going to be Darno. So you're taking the at-bat out of, you know, Ohapi. And what if he gets hot? You're going to sit him. So I don't like the reasoning, but you got nowhere else to put Ohapi. It's not like you could stick him in first and put Shonawell in the outfield. So they've got problems when it comes to that. And then having to also coddle Mike Trout. So it's, man, that part is really tough. Also, Joe Dell says, actually contributing to the offense. We're so back. Joshua says, where have you been, Todd? I was actually out of town and I stayed an extra night out of town. So I couldn't do the post games the last 2 days. So I had Rob fill in for me. He did a good job, but yeah. Archangel says, I used to date a girl who's short. I'm literally nuts over her. And Cropolis says, this lineup is deeper and scarier with Moncada in it. I do like Moncada, but again, you know, if Renifo was hitting for average, he's a no-brainer. I mean, I think his defense is better, and people don't even like Renifo's defense, but it's better than Moncada. Moncada fumbles the ball. He doesn't take the best routes to the ball, but I do like his bat better. He's been producing more. So, yeah, I mean, it's a tough spot. I mean, sometimes Soler can get really hot, and then sometimes he's cold, and I think what you want to do is maybe rest Ward and put Soler out there every now and then to keep Trout in the lineup as DH and or Hoppy as well. I mean, you got to do something. You got to do something. Halos Forever says, not Halos related, but did you enjoy the Savannah Bananas this weekend? I didn't enjoy them because I wasn't there, but I do like the fact that they had the fans and all of baseball talking. And Fernando was telling me about they're adding 2 more teams to that banana division because they have several teams now. They have 8. So there's a good chance this could be a league. And if it's a league, it could take off. I don't think it's going to be Major League Baseball, but it'll be something fun. And if you're having, let's say, the Bananas with their league play in Pittsburgh for one night, you know, as they travel, and the night before, before the Pirates leave, they're averaging 17,000, but you fill that place up to capacity, which they do at every spot. That's going to put pressure on MLB. So that's a story. And who knows, dude? They got 1 more year under the collective bargaining agreement. And if that banana division, whatever they call it, turns into an actual league, even if these guys are fringe baseball players, minor league baseball players, but they're talented, they're entertainers, man, that is really going to hurt baseball if there's a work stoppage in the MLB and that league takes off. I don't know, man. It could be real bad timing for baseball. Thice is the new Nevin. We're so back, Marty says. Alfonso says also first inning we swang away. I got to record that commercial. Alfonso says 1 in a row. Yes. Also, Sega Boy says, how many other stadiums across MLB use the Deo soundbite? You know, I did hear it in Ohio. I heard it a lot. There was a lot of that, dude, and that was kind of annoying. Useless Trucker says, like and subscribe, don't delay. Help Todd Fox lead the way to make the Angels podcast sway. See, I love it. I don't know how he does it, man, but that dude can rhyme. By the way, hit our Substack as well. If you haven't, dude, we got some good articles. Silent E has been killing it over there. You're going to want to go over there and check him out and check his writings out. We also have some other contributions coming from yours truly and a few others that are going to be coming over there. So share that Substack out there too. It's great articles that we've been writing over there, especially Silent E. He's been putting in the bulk of the work. And thank you, sir, as he is doing the Lord's work over there for baseball. Marty says, I'm overwashed, not arguing balls and strikes. Dude needs to go. Mateo says, if we don't get back to 500, I'll. Matty V is inscripted. Have Roger ask James for the highlights. Hold on a second. Rally says, Wayne was calling the Yankees and Dodgers game on Friday night. He'll probably be back in SoCal. Normally, Matty V calls Angels games on the East Coast. Yeah, for whatever reason. Also, Talking Halos, down with those guys, and I'm good. Wonder Twins on Locked On. I'm good with the Wonder Twins. Okay. Also, Demetro says, anyone remember the 2009 American League Division Series at Boston? What a crazy comeback. Took the lead to Vladdy, single, and scored Bobby and Sean Figgins. Love that team. Love that team. Sega Boy says, Halo honks. I'm Mike, and this is my brother John, and John is my brother Mike. Together, we are Stick Halo brothers. There you go. Also, Lugo. Yeah, that's who got called back up. Alfonso said, been out for a while. Where's number 6? The Dong and Squid. Number 6 is still in Houston, man. He's loving it. He's loving it in Houston, getting paid to do nothing. Vetter says, Angels, what the Red Sox? Angles. That's what it looks like. Better checking in there. Are you drinking, my friend? Sonny says, I think Shonawell played some corner outfield in college from time to time. I think they talked about it when they were scouting him. Maybe it could work, but college is not an MLB, so it might be hard. Yeah, that's what she said, but I agree. Banana ball equals WWE, that's for sure. That's what it looks like at times, but it looks highly entertaining. Sega Boy also says, so who gets to keep the money from a sellout, Arturo or the Bananas? Only thing I'm going to say about that, I'm pretty sure the Bananas take the bulk of it, but they do pay to play there. So obviously, yes, a full stadium, full parking, full food, all that goes to Artie. So you best believe, if you've ever been to an Angels-Yankees game, Angels-Dodgers game, Angels-Red Sox game, just Angels versus someone really important or a really fun giveaway or opening day, it is standing room only at the Big A. It's hard to walk through the aisles. And when you have a crowd that happy and in every inning, they're buying more stuff. And when you have a sellout like an Angels game, they're buying a lot of stuff. And that's where an owner like Artie Moreno gets his greedy little hands on all of your money. Rally Chris says, did you see? Yes, I saw Gloss and Lackey out there, and I did see the guy from what is it called? Sandlot too, the catcher, the great Hambino. 714 tickets. You just reminded me to play this little clip. Tired of paying service fees and taxes for tickets and concerts? Well, guess what? There's an alternative, and that is 714 tickets. Yes, 714 tickets is the price you see, is the price you get. Ron Holt has set up this website for you and for us as Halos in the Infield fans. And by putting in HITI in the promo code, you get 10% off of your purchase every time. Not just one time when you sign up. No, every time. And not just for the Angels, not just for the Dodgers, for basketball, football, hockey, and concerts. Use the 10% off HITI code as much as you want. Isn't that great? Plus, you get 5% more of savings off of your purchases for future purchase of tickets going forward. 714 tickets is awesome because, again, the price you see is the price you get, and you don't pay all these crazy service fees and taxes. If it's $28, well, guess what? It's $28 plus the 10% off you get by using Halos in the Infield, HITI, at checkout. So what are you waiting for? 714 tickets, 714 tickets. Tell them Halos in the Infield sent you. Real quick, Eric says, hey, folks, I'm actually here. Well, damn, what does that mean? When does the season start? He wants to know. Well, let's ask Roger, shall we?
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Also, you got right here, release Release Jorge. Wait, why is it clicking? There we go. Release Jorge. He's a strikeout king. Savannah Bananas were a lot of fun on Friday. They had Troy Gloss pinch hit, which was a lot of fun. Anyone go to see them. That league is going to take off. Silent E says, I love writing for Substack. When I write, I can hope you guys will stop by and check it out. And I hope when you do, you have as much fun reading it as I do. Yeah, Silent E does a really good job. I had Vetter on here. He's got to click on here again because I sent him a link and he clicked right back off. So come on, Vetter. Tony says, Artie gets the parking, food, concessions, and 10% of the merchandise. Yeah, I could see him linking a lot right there too, because, again, you have all those people at your stadium. You're going to make a ton of money. Sega says, let's hope no one ever wears number 6 again. I also saw a lot of people in the stands wearing number 6, which is still out of this world that they would actually still be wearing that dude's jersey. Todd and 714 Tickets, the duo is prime, best tickets in town every single time. Also, would you guys want Bobby V as a manager? No, I don't think so. Eric says, great win, folks. Halos Forever says, Banana Ball has to be 6 teams to become a BBCL. Banana Ball Championship League. It's so entertaining. I don't care if it's WWE of baseball. They do some pretty crazy shit. They really do. Tyler, he's in San Luis Obispo. Well, when you get a chance, my man, let me know when you're going to be at a game, and we will vibe, my friend. So with that being said, unless we get Veteran or someone else that wants to click that link and talk some smack with me, let's do it. If not, I'm going to get to the scoreboard, and then we'll send you off on your merry way on this evening. Still got a lot of time left on this Monday. So far in baseball right now, they're in the 6th inning. It is no score in San Francisco. The Padres and the Giants, a key divisional matchup there. The Twins are in Sacramento. It's 6-1 now, Twins. They are batting in the bottom of the 4th. The Mets are over the Doyers in the 6th or top of the 5th inning. And then the Rockies actually came back and won a game. They are now 10 wins and 50 losses, 4-28 on the road as they come back to beat the Marlins with 3 in the 9th over the Marlins. Then you had the Brewers upending the Reds 3-2. And the Tigers continue to stay white hot as they win 13-1 in Chicago. The Tigers, man, oh man, are they looking good. This team could be the team that comes out of the American League side of things. So it's been a long show tonight. We got into the awards. We gave it to Joe Adele for being the player of the game. We honked our honk a little bit. Had 7 Deos. Gavin with his credentials gave us
emotional damage.
Yep.
How dare you?
I'm sorry, but sometimes it's like listening to. Wait, there you go. Or that. Let's see one other comment right here. Bobby V and Roger Lodge are Pookie Pipe brothers. Yeah, you know what? I think it's too far. You know, Bobby V's, if we had him 10 years ago, maybe, but he's not a guy I would take as a manager. I think we need someone younger and full of energy. Rally Chris says this weekend's attendance for Banana Ball at the stadium was 90,000. Yeah, they were capacity. They were 45,000 and standing room only. The cheapest ticket for your bananas was $260. That is insane. But hey, it's not playoff baseball. It's something new. It's very entertaining, and hats off. They're doing a hell of a job. I can't hate on it. I really can't. Anything that gets more eyes on baseball, more people to play baseball. I don't care if it's the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. I think it's fun. I think it's fun, and it should it should be a good thing. And I'll look at it when they come back as well next year. Big 20 says, yo, Bobby V and Roger are those old wrinkly brothers that wander around Huntington Beach checking out girls and shirtless and creepy. Big 20 is graduating in 2 days. Let me just say this. Wilbur saying, yo, Big 20, the legend. Let me just say this. And let me echo what Wilbur just said right now. Let me just echo this real quick. This dude started this show like as far as he was one of the originals. And I think he was barely a freshman when he started, because we've been on now. It's going on 4 years. So going on 4 years that we've done this show. And we were there when Big 20 was a freshman talking about he's going to go partying and Shirley Temples and surf contests. Now he's making commercials. And now our little kid that that we helped grow up over the years. And like Demetrio says, all the virgin comments, how he couldn't get any. And we found out earlier this year, he finally dipped his wang into some foreign territory and he became a man. And now he's graduating. So hats off, baby. Hats off, Big 20. You've won some surfing contests. You're no longer the little kid that couldn't get it done. You're the engine that did get it done. So there you go. So now we're going to, I guess we're not going anywhere just yet. Silent E and my friend Vetter. How you guys doing tonight?
Better because our Halos won. Let's go Halos.
All right, all right. And what's up, Silent E?
Hello. I don't know if you can hear me very well. My signal's not the greatest. I'm at work right now, and I snuck away for like a few minutes to get on the phone call.
Well, then go ahead, man. Talk it up, because I think what we got to get what you got to say, and I think Big 20 is being called to the mic too. So go for it, my man.
I just wanted to, thanks again for the shout out, and hopefully if anybody comes, check out the Substack. Like I said, you have as much fun reading as I do writing. I actually just started a college course, so I'm trying to get my bachelor's in aviation maintenance. So I am a little busy, which is why I've been putting out around once a week for the articles. So I want to try to keep that going. And if you all stop by and check it out, like I said, I hope you have fun reading.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Silent E, for taking it up too, because he's on our Substack. Like he said, he's putting really, really good articles out there, a lot more effort than our local writers. And I'm not even lying about that. So he's breaking it down. He's doing a really, really good job. So if you need a little read right there, it's a good 5 to 10 minute read. Check out Substack. I can't tell you enough. Check out Substack and Silent E over there, man. He puts in some really good writing. You there, bro?
I can't ignore you when you give me a shout out. So
well, dude, you're killing it, man. And I'm getting a lot of good responses too. A lot of people are saying they love it. So, but we need more subscribe. So don't just read it. Give us a like and a subscribe over there. That would really help Silent E's cause over there. So, and then too, man, good luck with your training, man. Hopefully you get that position, bro.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's going to take me around 3 years to get this degree. So it'll help me once I'm out of the Navy, because it's my trade in the Navy is aircraft maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to continue what I'm doing here because it is a fun job.
Well, dude, I mean, as long as you love the job, I mean, that's fuck, dude. You know how many people hate their job? So that's you already got a one up right there, man. So keep it going. I know if it's your passion, you'll get it, man. You'll get it.
Yeah. It's just one day at a time. I got a few more years of this. So.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, man. And keep up the good work, dude. And let me know if whenever you get some time, we'll get you on the podcast as well, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah. Looking forward to it. I like the win tonight. I hope everybody's happy. Have a good night, and I'll hop on here whenever I can.
There you go, brother. Have a good one, man.
Bye.
Later. There's Silent E right there. Vetter, what's going on, man?
Let's go to the filmmaker now, the one who has a really important job, who cares about the Navy. Let's talk to the filmmaker here. Kidding, Silent E. Thank you for everything that you do and being a fan of the Angels and the service. You're doing two things that are really hard, man. Being an Angel fan and being in the Navy. Gee whiz.
Dude, come on. That is blasphemy, my man. That's blasphemy. You better be joking.
I am.
Okay, good.
But I gotta say, I went to the Yankee game. It was pretty packed. I don't remember seeing Angel Stadium that packed other than opening day. And gee whiz, have I seen that stadium more packed than I did on Saturday, May 31st, for the Savannah Banana game. Holy cow. I was there. And I'll tell you what, I've not had that much fun at that stadium in all my 18. I went to that stadium in 2006. I was 1 year old, Todd. And I couldn't even tell you what happened in that game. But I tell you what, I had more fun then, or now, May 31st, 2025, than I have in my 18, 19 years that I've been going to that dumb stadium.
Well, I mean, from like what I seen too, was it the owner, the one with the banana hat, or what is he? The coach?
Yeah, he's the owner. Yeah, the Jesse. I forgot his last name, but he's the one that wears the yellow suit.
That dude was signing autographs well after the game was over, and the security was telling him, "Hey, man, you got to go," and he's like, "No, I'm signing everybody." I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I was there on that Saturday, and that video was taken on that Friday, I believe. But yeah, I mean, it was a circle, and he was literally there from, let's say the game ended at 9. He was there till about 10:30, signing stuff and taking pictures with everyone. So that was really cool. And even all the players, like their biggest players, it's Coach Rack, who's a YouTuber, and even that he was signing stuff for things. And I think they're gonna take over baseball, like you were saying, with the CBA. Like I think they're gonna overrule baseball for a good year.
Well, I mean, look what happened during COVID. I mean, obviously, other things that could have been like the Jordan documentary, and this is just TV wise. It happened to be made before COVID, but it debuted when everybody was home to watch it. And now everybody, a whole new generation or two, now know of all the drama with Michael Jordan. People that lived through it are like, "Oh, I remember that. Oh, I didn't know this happened," and it just became a phenomenon, right? So if you have a CBA and baseball closes down, and especially in the time of what is it called, the long days of summer, when there's no baseball around, or no football around either, no NBA, no nothing like that to carry the torch, and it's usually just baseball on its own. I mean, fringe sports like XFL might get a little bit of a raise.
Well, don't forget about Marcia Sport, WNBA. We can't forget about that, Todd. We got to support our girl.
Like I said, XFL might get a little bit more ratings, but I mean, a league like the Savannah Bananas, man, people are gonna want to itch that scratch of having baseball, and they're just gonna slide in, dude, and they're gonna steal a lot of fans. And then maybe when baseball comes back, people are like, "Yeah, I like baseball, but it's not as fun as the Bananas."
I mean, there were so many kids at that stadium. Like other than the Sundays where they have the kids at the Big A family days, but there was maybe more kids than there were adults at these games. And I think this is how you get kids into baseball. MLB, Robert Manfred, this guy that no one likes, needs to step up and do something. Whether he buys them and says, "You guys can join, come in the All-Star game, do whatever," but they need to do something with them because they're going to revive baseball.
Yeah, but like Sega Boy says, there is that WWE effect to it, but look how popular WWE is. I'm not saying that I'm going to go away from baseball, not 1 second. But I know a lot of wrestling fans that don't like the Bananas because, and it's weird because like, well, don't you like the WWE? And they're like, no, but there is some cool aspects to it. I do like, the crazy catches, the behind the back, like a guy did like a somersault and throw, like he threw a strike to first base. It was crazy shit that they do. It's very entertaining, but it's never going to take me away from baseball. Like you said, and I said, it's going to help kids get into baseball, number one. And number two, maybe it's going to reach the inner city, which the MLB has failed year upon year to get and I'm just going to go out and say it, the black athlete back in baseball. Yeah. There should be more about black players in baseball. And the fact that there isn't, that's a story for another day. There's all kinds of theories for that, but I just think this is a good way to get inner city kids involved of all races. But that can also help the blacks come back to baseball because they have a rich history in this game, and it would be nice for them to be more integrated back into baseball.
Yeah, and because they're tapping markets that MLB doesn't even like to touch. Like,
true,
this league started in Savannah, Georgia. Like, no one, like, that's not touched. So they uprooted a fandom from that point, and they're going to these little cities around the country that there's not even like, there's minor league teams, but even that, like, they're just going out there and they're not afraid to go wherever. Like, that's what I like. Like, they're not afraid to test new things out in different cities. So
I agree. I agree. And maybe baseball, if they're smart, will send its own scouts out to get the feel of what they're doing so right to attract the fans.
Yeah, and these are young guys. These are guys that are, like you said, college MLB guys. Like when the Bananas first started, they were a winter league team. So like
Mhm.
these guys are young. I think like probably the oldest guy there is 30 on the team. Like these are good. I mean, they're the forgive me for forgetting his name, but they're the GM before Perry. I think who drafted Adele?
God, what's his name again?
DePoto?
No, it wasn't DePoto. It was the guy after
Um,
that. Why am I blanking on his name? Because we're talking all this bananas ball. I can't remember. It's
too
gonna
many
come.
bananas in your mouth.
You know what? Better, Billy Epler. Thank you, Wilbur.
Billy Epler, yes. Thank you to whoever said it, or if you just cut it off the top of your head. But these guys are guys that Billy Epler would have drafted because they're young, they're athletic, and they could play baseball pretty mediocrely. So, I mean, but they got the athletic part right, where they look muscular, like Joe Adele. All these guys look like Joe Adele. So,
Yeah, like Epler was like, I don't know if these guys can hit home runs, but man, if you put them in a Speedo.
oh, that maybe there was something going on. Maybe those two, Artie and him, and they got something else is going on there.
Yeah,
and I want to be a part of it.
There you go. Well, I appreciate the call, Vetter, and you keep doing the Lord's work, and we'll remember you on Veterans Day.
Please do. I've done so much for this country, this community, everything, Todd.
Yes, we're gonna have a parade for you. All right, thanks, Vetter.
Thank you, Todd.
All
Bye.
Right, my man, real quick, Stir Boogie, how you doing, my man?
Doing good, bro. Doing good. This is a long show. This is a long show for a Monday night.
Yeah, well, it's only at an hour 16. Long shows for me are like an hour 45, 2 hours.
Oh, what? Yeah, they seem a lot longer when it's midnight, eh?
Yeah, right.
Dude, I thought they were gonna drop it again for real. That was all bad.
Yeah, I mean, the fifth inning especially, like I thought, dude, like my dad was like, boy, they're just not scoring.
Thank God for Joe Adele.
Absolutely. And the pitching, dude. The pitching was pretty good.
Yeah, they had some stat on the FanDuel broadcast that said during the 8-game winning streak, the bullpen had like a 2.74 ERA. And during the last 8 games, when we're 1-7, they have a 1.7 ERA.
I know. This bullpen's supposed to suck.
Exactly. So that was refreshing, bro. I expected Jansen to blow it too, but he went 1, 2, 3.
Yep. So
that game against the Marlins, we're up by 2, and he left 2 on base to end the game.
Yeah, I mean, this if they can, like I said, get to that magical number of 4 or 5, they're gonna win most of their games, dude. They just are right now the way they're pitching. So hold that thought real quick because I got to get Big 20 on. Stay on the line, my man, because I got Big 20 and I know he wants to have a speech here because we've seen our little cubby grow up into a big bear.
Ho! Ho, ho, no more school, school's out for summer, forever, no more English, no more
I don't think school was ever your thing, Big 20, but we need to hear a quick speech, man, because the fans are demanding.
Let's just say I'm so happy I got done with economics and English, all my classes today. And I'm so ready to graduate on Thursday. And then Wednesday, we have the walk on the San Clemente Pier. So, in my cap and gown. And then I'm going to go surf a local break afterwards in my trunks. So, I'm going to put on my cap and gown and then take that off and go surf in my trunks afterwards because the water's warm. And I'm just ready to graduate. I'm ready to get out of that school. And I'm so happy to graduate. And I got my first paycheck from my job this weekend, $379. So
How much?
$379.
How many hours?
So I worked like 6 days before the river, so like 20 hours. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then I just, got more money coming. Oh, I'm getting a new truck this weekend, finally. Last gen, red
Finally.
Toyota Tacoma. My uncle's going to co-sign. It's going to be awesome. Yeah.
I feel bad for your uncle, no offense. But I don't see you making them payments, man.
No, I am. It's going to be like $300. I'm matured.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because I can do so the first time I'll do a down payment of like $2,000, and then I'll see how much it is monthly, like, because I'm gonna buy it, and so.
What year is it?
It's gonna be like a 2021, 22, so last gen, because those are better. So.
That's at least 24,000.
Yeah, but down payments are gonna be like $300 a month or something.
Man, he must have some really good ass credit. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, you better figure out that economics, man, because that might come back to bite you in the ass, especially with your English.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm just gonna go talk to them and see what happens.
He's got it.
Yeah, don't worry about it, man. He somehow made it through high school. He can make it through life.
Yes, sir.
Just keep
100%.
surfing. Just keep surfing.
Yep. Just keep surfing and having fun and cruising and partying and getting chips because we have a movie premiere June 14th and we have all the lowers and stuff coming up, so it's gonna be awesome.
You should sponsor Shirley Temple drinks. You really should.
No, I'm trying to get sponsored by like Red Bull or something big. Maybe a car company. We'll see. But I don't drink the energy drinks. I just want to get sponsored by them to get paid.
There you go. But I would suggest you stay away from the comments. They're kind of ripping you a new butthole right now.
Heavy. I just made a speech. I'm psyching for graduation high school. Yeah.
Well, that's how we love our fans. We rip them. So.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave it on this. We won, and we're gonna hopefully win tomorrow. But I'm only gonna call in when we win. So yeah.
I respect that.
I'm graduating. Yep.
Congratulations, my friend. Only 2 days to go.
Yes, sir. Woo! Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Later.
Okay. Talk to you later. Bye.
Stir Boogie.
How about that?
Right.
Oh yeah. He's a party. Dude, all or nothing with that man.
Yeah, exactly. we have so much history with him with Big 20. So
I respect that. Oh yeah.
So getting back to the game, man. Do you think they could take 2 out of 3?
Do I think they could take 2 out of 3? I thought they were going to take all 6 on this road trip. But damn, it's always yes for me. I'm always flapping my wings over here.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's God, I just see so much potential in this team, but it just seems on a nightly basis they don't put it all together, and it's frustrating to watch sometimes.
Yeah, bro, I put it out there today. I was like, it's either all or nothing.
Yeah,
and I had so many replies saying nothing, and definitely wasn't nothing. They went all in for sitting.
Yeah, it's like you can see what they can do when they're on, and they're going to give you some nail biters every now and then, but I just want to see this team go more consistent, because we can get on another 8-game winning streak, and who knows, maybe this time we do, the other teams lose and we can gain some ground.
Yeah. Let's see. Seattle. Let's see if they won tonight. They won tonight, do you know?
No, they're off tonight. The only team in our division that's playing is Oakland or Sacramento.
Oh, wait. They're not even in first place anymore. The Astros are, huh?
Yeah, the Astros are, because right now, the up-to-date standings right now is actually Seattle's up a half game on Houston, and then 4 back are the Rangers, and we're 5.5 out.
Damn. Okay. Well, we're at 10 out.
We'll see. The thing is too, where we need to change is again scoring more runs because we're a minus 56 in run differential, and the other three teams that are ahead of us are all plus. Not by much, but they're still plus. So I think that's where we need to go. We need to start scoring some more runs for sure.
We need to win at home too.
That too, man. That's important.
So sad. Went to the last 5 and just lost everything. Now they're gone. 2-2 on the road.
Dude, they're 10-15 at home, man. So
yeah, very sad. And we are 500 on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. 5 under. Damn, man. Happy Monday. We got a long week ahead of us, right? No days off.
No, well, I think a Thursday we're having a day off, and then we'll be back for the weekend.
Okay. How about that?
I won't be at the stadium Friday because my boy graduates, so we're going to be doing a party for him on Friday. He's leaving 8th grade, so got to give him a little something. And then I guess I don't know who's going to be filling in Friday, but I'll definitely be at the game Saturday and Sunday.
You sending somebody to get the Hawaiian shirts for you or what?
I think so, yeah. I got to get me a Hawaiian shirt, man.
I feel
those look pretty fresh.
Right on, bro. Well, I'll see you at least Sunday. I'm going on Sunday for sure. Bringing both my boys for the Oh Hoppy jersey.
Nice. Yeah, they're going to love that, dude.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Thank you for having me on, bro. I appreciate it. Great show, too.
Oh, thanks, man. You enjoy the commercial?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was dope.
Did what's the name ever get back to you?
No. But that's the game. You know what I mean? It happens.
Text him or I'll text him, dude.
No, I'll text him. I'll follow up with him for sure.
Okay. Because I'm sure I don't know. I'm not making excuses because you still should.
Nah, hell no. Nah, it's all good. It happens every day, whether it's him or somebody else. You know what I mean? No, it happens every day. It's all good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Somebody
ends up coming through every time.
Yeah, it'll work. It'll work for sure.
That's the pipeline. That's sales, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but thanks again, bro. Sick
You got
ass
it,
night.
man.
After parties lit every time.
There you go. Right, especially when we win.
What are you closing it out with, bro? What are you closing it out with?
I think I'm gonna close it. What's that?
What are you closing it out with? Stukas?
Yeah, not a spritz. I'm gonna close it out with either a yummy tasting nut or or I'll just go with Stukas, man.
Let's go.
All
right.
Yeah. All right, brother.
Bro. Good night, man.
You too.
Hell yeah. I'll see you soon.
All right, later.
Bye.
All right, that's my boy Stir Boogie right there. Real quick, I know Red Sox fans, you could look at them and say,
"Oh no, what happened? Oh no, how terrible! That's just awful. How terrible! Oh no."
So with that being said, Stukas, baby, and we'll see you tomorrow evening as the Angels go for Game 2 in Fenway. Good night, everybody.